Stigma is an issue that affects youth with mental illness in Canada. Stigma damages self-esteem, the recovery process, and life outcomes.
At any given time, 14% or 1 million young people under the age of 18 have mental health problems in Canada.
Of those experiencing mental health issues, 47 to 68% of those have 2 or more mental disorders.
Si un de leurs membres de famille était diagnostiqué avec une maladie mentale sévère, seulement 25% des Canadiens en discuteraient avec leurs collègues et amis, selon un sondage fait par l'Association médicale canadienne.
31% of teenage girls have had thoughts of suicide, and 16% of teenage girls have attempted suicide.
17.7% of male teens have had thoughts of suicide in the past, while 7.1% have attempted suicide in the past.
The Youth Advisory Council was formed because we're seen as equals when talking about mental health. You can't talk about us without us.
To me, stigma means going into a health clinic or wellness center, then having your friend say to you, who would actually go in there?
It's having to cover my legs and arms in work, school, and in public because of how people have judged me in the past based on how I have coped.
To me, stigma meant creating a whole new person and hiding who I really was from everybody. I was really embarrassed and ashamed of who I was and what I was and all my mental illnesses. And then after a while, when I wanted to become sincere in myself again, I had to train myself to stop going into my fake persona and pretending I was something that I thought everybody else wanted.
We all have stories, but mine are written on my skin, and sometimes people would rather make judgment or assumptions rather than just ask questions.
It just made me sad once I started to think about it because I could have been way more awesome for way longer.
Mon problème avec le stigma, c'est pas nécessairement ce que les gens pensent de moi, c'est plus ce que j'ai peur que les gens pensent de moi. C'est vraiment la peur. J'ai pas de problème avec mes amis, ça a toujours été bien relax, il n'y a pas de gêne, j'en ai parlé ouvertement. Si on a des questions, je réponds, puis c'est super relax. Au bar, je prends mes médicaments, puis c'est tout, il n'y a pas de questions maintenant.
Stigma to me means being denied promotions and not being trusted even a decade after first being diagnosed. Stigma is judgment, and eventually not just others judging you, but you judging yourself. You stop trying to achieve things because you believe the things others have said about you.
To me, stigma meant engaging in self-harmful behaviors to deal with my mental illness. As a result, I maintained really unhealthy relationships and was bullied in school. I was very alone and very angry.
To me, stigma was a barrier during high school. It left me alone in the darkness. It made me afraid to ask questions and ask for help in any situation because of the negative comments that would follow.
Now it's about dating. I never know what to do. Like, I'm supposed to talk about it. I'm always afraid that I'm going to be rejected just for being different, because I don't have the choice of living with my issues with mental illness, but they do. And pretty much like, why would they accept to live with that? And I'm afraid that people I love will run away just because they don't know enough about mental health and they cannot cope with it.
It means shutting the door on meaningful conversations about mental illness. Our understanding of mental illness is shrouded by misinformation and fear that stigma creates, and it hinders our ability to help those that we love who are suffering from mental illness.
It's really important to address stigma at a local level and take action.
Even something as simple as having a frank conversation with family members and friends about mental illness can have a huge impact on reducing stigma.
La santé mentale, c'est pas seulement la maladie mentale. Ça nous concerne tous. Ça me concerne, ça nous concerne, ça vous concerne.
There's a lot of different ways to open up dialogue in your community about mental illness. For example, I give talks at high schools about addiction, mental illness, and self-esteem, and it just takes one person to open up the dialogue for everyone else to join in.
Some of the initiatives I've been involved in include giving talks at local schools and community organizations to help give a real face to mental illness.
On September 10th, 2011, a group of youth came together in Prince George, BC to put on a live forum theatre event to mark World Suicide Prevention Day.
Il n'y a pas de raison d'avoir des stigmas, il n'y a pas de raison d'avoir des préjugés, de se dire pourquoi le monde sont différents, pourquoi ils sont déprimés, pourquoi ils ont l'air un peu fous dans le fond.
We talked to the audience and we asked them about mental illness and how it affected their lives. They told us about their brothers and sisters, their colleagues, their family, their friends, their children.
C'est pas seulement tolérer la santé mentale, la maladie mentale, c'est l'accepter. Puis pour ça, il faut s'éduquer en tant que société. L'éducation, c'est le premier pas envers l'acceptation.
We came away from it inspired.